Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through my round 11 team reveal, going through the trades that I go through, and sort of how I've come to a realization again that I guess with the how the team selection went down, how I need to probably shift a little bit my thoughts, and how I might have the ability to get another premium in for the round 14, which will mean that I'm up to I'll be up to 14. I'll be up to four premiums in that round coming off. But it'll mean that I'll also have still very good scoring in that round. But I'll have another guy to be able to cover in that round 15, which is going to be tough. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And let's get into the video. So, as you can see here, nothing much has changed in the back six. Dacos, Whitfield, Stewart, Duggan, Day, and the best out of Wilmot and Mitchell. I also do need to do... does this... I think if I update this, it will show that I've changed a little bit around, yes. Not much around, but just a little bit. I've changed this around because of, obviously, Cowan's playing tonight, and I kind of need to have that loophole potential, and Mitchell's playing first. So I know I changed it on my phone, and I hadn't actually updated this in a while. So even in the last video that is coming up, getting released at 4, in another 20 minutes or so, it has Cowan sitting there. So no need to comment on that. Cowan is not going to be sitting at my D6. I'm not going to make the mistake of bad loopholing. So you have Dacos D1, yep, staying there. Whitfield D2 at the moment, and is probably one of the guys that's definitely one of the guys that's got to go, given he has round 15, and currently round 15 buys. I'm probably going to be holding Taranto and English are a given, so I'm probably going to be holding Sheasel, I think, just because I think I can get more value out of Zeeble, and I can get him potentially up to a mid or something like that at 860k, 880k for a guy averaging 103. I think there's guys out there that can pop off and go 110 plus, whereas I think Sheasel also is a lot more owned at the moment. So, and we haven't really seen Hall changing his role much. I mean, his scoring output much. He's changed his role, but he's going into the midfield. So, and did that performance. So he had actually less disposals, but got the tackles that we really needed from him and got really good. A 112 from him is perfect. So I think I'm going to hold him because a lot of the comp's going to hold him, and use Zeeble as a chip to be able to get up to someone big in the round 15 changeover. So I got that. Whitfield, Stewart is going to be held, and just need him to actually get some scores on the board. Playing GWS, I don't think they won't tag him as they don't have a forward tagger, and he should do really well in being able to score. Duggan's a guy that's going to go in either round 13 or 14, like in the lead up to round 13 or 14, as he's just 773k, sort of stalling a little bit, had injury concerns and didn't play in the last quarter of this game against Hawks, or didn't score in the last quarter, I should say, and 773k with some nudging around on my bench, etc., and other things. I think I can push him up to another guy, or just move him around and get, defenders, 700k. We look at L3. You've got Rioli there that you could go for, but he's around 15 guy. I could just swap him for the likes of Hayden Young or something like that. I could swap him for, Redmond has the same buy as him. There's plenty of guys that I could swap him for, even swapping him for the likes of Lloyd, as Lloyd did pop a 66, but has gone all right before that. And we look at 600k, anyone held Witho will have a bad roll. Stocker's gone 96 in his last 3, so he'll have another game before that. There's plenty of guys that I could look to get him in for, get him out for. Same with Will Day. And those two guys also, I could look at guys in the 800k region, and there isn't really anyone, to be fair. Maybe Ryan, if he gets low enough, I could get to him. I just really need a guy for probably 5 or so rounds, and there isn't really any defenders that aren't in the 900k range. But I could also, and there isn't really any forwards at the moment to get them too. So it's basically as we look here with the forwards, L3, L5 is probably the best to show you guys. Round 15, round 15, round 15, round 15, round 15 again, 15, 15, 15. Not round 15, but has played. So, yeah, we got an 88 for a non-round 15. Then Zorko's played 5 in a row, obviously. Then we have another guy, Max King's played 1 game. So we're really looking at Heaney if he can pick it up or something, but I don't think he will. So we're really struggling with... So I guess I could move actually Aikens into the defense. That might be a plan. Move him into the defense and or push someone into the forward line and someone down back, and then get a midfielder, such as I can move Rosie into the forward line, etc., and get a midfielder. But I really need to look at it and think, how can I get best value, because I'm keeping these two probably, or keeping Sheasel, Taranto, and English through their bye as well. So most of these guys are actually going to be keepers. 8 of the 9 here. I think Zeebel's moving on. Merrett and Petrarca and Aitken, Ashcroft and Wardlaw are keepers, so 5 there. So these 3 probably have to go. And then out of the defense, it'll be these 3 as well. So it's it's 7 guys I've got to trade on out of 9 trades post round 12. So in round 13, before round 13, 14, and 15, I've got to move those guys on. And there isn't much to move on that isn't in round 15. And that's the bummer at the moment. Ullin not playing, but using him as a loophole. Wilmot, I don't like his wing role. I think he's going to get back, so potentially a move on. But we'll see. If he can get a 60-70 score, then we'll hold him. But if he doesn't, then it'll be him going out, and I'll be taking advantage of the cash gen he'll get, as he'll probably go up to 440k, and I can get like a 200k rookie or 220k rookie in there, and I can get better guys in there as well. Seamus Mitchell keeps on keeping on, and he could turn into a guy that I use to upgrade Wardlaw in the coming weeks, as I'll be getting most likely Darcy Cameron or Gawn in, and that'll take up this sort of rookie spot here, as I can flip McPherson into the back line and Gawn into the forward line, and that'll help me get, I guess, another rookie off field, and that'll help me to get Mitchell basically off field, or to only need his score when needed. And that'll mean that it's just Wardlaw, Aikens, and Ashcroft that aren't really above 750k for me. Onto the midfield, Green's doing his thing, Bontempelli's doing his thing, Merrett's brought in and immediately has the VC on him, because I was going to go Sicily, but I thought with the way that I'm going to be able to clear my bench almost in the space of about 3 or 4 rounds here, I'll be able to get enough cash to do things and move players. So I think I can take a big player in Merrett, because I'll have enough cash through my bench and just other things to get the other guys that I want. And Merrett has the West Coast and North, and I don't think they will tag. And I don't think Edkern I might tag for Carlton, but he's currently not even playing at the moment. Then you've got Freo, I don't think they'll tag, to be honest. And then you've got Port, and they don't run tagger, I don't think. Adelaide might, but I don't think they will, to be honest. They might just put Laird on him. And then you've got Geelong, and they'll probably run a tag, but that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's already 6 games where he's probably going to get a tag. Maybe the probability is probably 1 in 6, I'd say. Also, adding up all the guys, so he's probably going to get a tag worth of 1 game worth. And he doesn't play well as tagged, but I think he'll be fine, given that there's no one in the Essendon midfield, and he's gone 109 this year, and his best is 117, so his best is like top 3 in the comp, and he's currently top 10 at the moment. Petrarca gets that midfield roll back as Oliver is out, so that's really good as well. Then Rosie's, I think, starting to heat up, but he will certainly be a guy that I try and move on, as there are Brayshaw. If we look at the midfielders this time, just midfield specific, you got Brayshaw, Laird, Not sure, not Kelly. Butters doesn't really work. Sarong as well, but he's under injury clouds. Dawson could be one that I try and get to as well from the round 15 guys. Like getting Dawson from Zeeble might be a play. As Zeeble is 883, so there's only a 50k gap. And if we look at break evens wise, I'm probably going to spell Zeeble wrong. Zeeble's got a 94 break even, and Dawson, I believe, has a big break even, 128. So they've got a decent break even gap. And I think they go around the same scoring. So I think that'll even close the gap by another 20 or so K and get it down to 30k. So they could be even by the time that the buys roll around for them. And that could be a way for me to get Dawson and get another defender and enable me to keep McPherson in the forward line. And hopefully there becomes another forward that I can play there and only have to sit out two of my forwards in the round 15 buy. Anderson, I want to see how he bounces back. Raul as well. He could be one that we look to. Parker is certainly a guy that I'm looking at, and he's got the better role, I think, so he could be a guy that I move on Rosie for, or a guy that I bring in pretty much automatically in round 13, but I could be moving on Rosie in round 13. If we look here, he's got the Bulldogs, and I will certainly be probably moving him on before round 14, so this is what I'm talking about against Geelong. I don't want to have any guys in that game, so I think I'll move Rosie on, and I'll probably get it wrong, but I think the logic is there to move him on out of the Geelong game and move Parker on, as Parker has got in that round 14. He's got the Gabba against Brisbane, in Brisbane at the Gabba, I should say, and then he's got the Eagles, and I think he actually will score better in a scrappy contest against Geelong, but then he's got some good games where I think he can score, and no Mills for the foreseeable future should do well for him. And then no one else here really could get to Kelly for the round 15 guys, such as getting Zeeble out or getting Green or Bontempelli, as those guys are probably going to have to move on, given that I want to keep English, Taranto, and Sheasel. As I think I can get more value out of getting a Brayshaw or someone else for Bontempelli rather than getting a Danaher and hoping that he goes large, as he won't really score well if he doesn't goal. And there's a high potential that he goes and scores like a 1 goal and drops a 50 or 60. So I'd rather get the midfielders in, as I think there's better equivalent scoring, I guess I should say, for the price range. We talked about Rosie, Ashcroft keeping on. He's got a game at Adelaide Oval, but then have the Hawks at the MCG and the Swans at the Gabba. The Swans at the Gabba, they might even run a tag against him. That's how influential he's been. I think he probably gets row bottom in that game. And we'll see how he goes, but I think he's at the Gabba, and his average at the Gabba, I think, is over 100 at this point. So, yeah, just got to keep him. Atkins, he will be a guy that'll move out in like round 17 or round 18. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this. Move him out here after these 2 Gabba games. Move him out and get in another guy, and I'll be able to get in a guy around 900k, and I'll really have strength in my team by then. I'll have like 5 or 6 guys above 900k here. And I'll have pretty much a full premium team by then, I think. Atkins keeps on keeping on and has got really good job security. It is a wet. He does have 2 games where he probably will score a little bit lower, but he is 28% owned, so should be fine. Wardlaw, bring him in. Got to bring him in. Got to have good cash gen for the next heap of weeks. Only real issue is that he's so hard at the ball that he could easily get concussed. That's the only problem. Does have Collingwood, which should be a tough game, but has Essendon Giants and Western Bulldogs, where he should be able to score well in. Then on the bench, I have no midfield bench, because that's how it's rolling at the moment, but we will fix that up, as Chesser it might be the sub, which could suck if he doesn't able to get the cash gen needed for him, as we look at, I should have just done Chesser this way. Chester's got a 14 break even, so should be fine, and I'll look for Long as well. Ned Long, no, this one, 31 break even, so that's going to be tough for him to get to. I think he shouldn't go up too much, but he's going to be at 350k or so, and looks like his position is pretty solid in that Eagles lineup, so I might just keep him at the moment, as I'd rather trade out dead rookies that aren't going to have any cash gen, and I'd rather he's not the sub at the moment. So on field, I think he should be able to at least get 40 or so. So he should be able to gain cash over time. We just need one good game from him to reset that cash gen. So, yeah, those guys aren't playing. English and Marshall are the best 2 rucks, so that should be fine. Samson Ryan, you've probably heard me multiple times go over different plans for him. But it looks like I'll be getting him out next week and getting in DC or Gorn, depending on cash availability and how much he actually goes up, because he could easily drop a 70 and change that whole plan, and that'll mean that I'll probably get rid of the likes of a someone else and get Darcy Cameron that way. But I think Darcy Cameron is a guy that I should be targeting. Taranto holding throughout the whole year. Goulden could easily become one of the, with a good round, I'm pretty sure if we look here, his break-even is like 70 or something. Goulden, 78 break-even. If he goes 130, 140 again, that could see him get up towards the million and be one of the most pricey guys. Like you've got Marshall here at 950k, right around his price range. Bontempelli and Green has a pretty high break-even, I'm pretty sure, so he could easily go and jump all those guys and get towards one of the top priciest guys in the game. Dunkley has the captaincy on him, as it's supposed to rain at Adelaide, and I think he does really well. Then you've got Zeeble here against Collingwood. That's going to be a tough game for these two to score, I think, but hopefully they just pull out a big score. And then you got McPherson in the wet at against Western Bulldogs. Should be a tough game for him to score, and I'm just hoping he holds on for the next couple of weeks, as he's one guy that I'm weary about, but hopefully he can continue scoring. Then you got Drury here, 234k, going to get dropped, going to be a red dot, but can be used in future for, well, if you even look here, he could also be a wait for me to get the captaincy from Merrett score. Merrett plays here, and I'm expecting Drury to get dropped, but if Drury isn't dropped, you got Brisbane in the last game of the round, in which they play Adelaide. I can use him to, and then flip Josh Dunkley into the midfield, as I can play Collingwood, don't have anyone, Richmond, Port Adelaide. I can just, if I may actually do that now, is to do that, and that'll enable me, if I flip these guys around, I want you to have the VC still. I'm just doing it categorically by price. That'll enable me to do, and I put the emergency on you, so that'll enable me, if Merrett goes large, to just effectively swap these two out. I hope Sharp isn't named on the emergency, so cannot get the sub, which is good. And then I can play Dunkley from the bench here and have him as an emergency and get his score anyway. And that'll be the way I get my captaincy score from Merrett, who plays on Saturday night. A very late VC, but has free reign basically. And then talked about Drury, Noah Long we basically talked about, and Cowan will be a guy that could easily be traded out, as it might be him, Samson Ryan and Wilmot that get traded if Harry Sharp is named next, or well, it won't be actually next week, so hopefully Cowan comes back in at this point, because I don't know if they'll play Sincotta. Hopefully he comes back in, as I need some cash gen, but it will probably be Samson Ryan, Sharp, and Wilmot that go. Maybe I might be able to scrape it with holding Wilmot, as that'll be, say, 120k, 210 or so k, 200k, so that'll be 330k made. And then Wilmot, say I traded, I might need to trade Wilmot in this case rather than Sharp, as that'll be 210 plus 200k plus 130 is 330k. 430k doesn't get me up to the likes of DC, but if I traded Wilmot, that would get me to DC through trading out to Cowan. But if I trade Sharp and Samson Ryan as well as Wilmot, I can easily get to Darcy Cameron, and I might be able to get to the likes of Gawn, depending on McAndrew's performance and also depending on Wilmot's performance. So that's the video done of the my round 11 team reveal. I forgot to do the trades actually, but I'm pretty sure I'll flick back to it. As you can see here, the trades at the moment are Powell out for Merrett and Holland out for Wardlaw. I thought about trading Duggan for a couple of seconds, but it was like the runs just made sense for Duggan to play over Powell, as Powell has the 2 wet games or dewy games here. Then he has his bye, and Duggan also should get a good role, I guess, against Essendon. Then he has Collingwood, which should be a tough game, but these two are high-scoring teams as well. So hopefully he gets good kick-out numbers, etc. and stuff like that. I know Hearn's back, which could delay his or take away a lot of his kick-outs, but hopefully Hearn just doesn't boot it long and kicks it short to Duggan a lot. But yeah, that's basically the plan. And hopefully I can score well and get back into the top 8, 7 or so K. But I think I'll make up a lot of ground in the bye rounds if a lot of people are trying to trade out forwards, which won't work as they want to keep Green and Bontempelli. Whereas if I trade out Green and Bontempelli, I can get in a lot better scoring players. So that's the basic premise there. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.